Hello and welcome into Mulcahy Stadium here in Anchorage, Alaska for tonight's matchup between the 11-7 Matsu Miners and the 8-11 Anchorage Bucs. This is Brad Walker, and alongside me is Connor Mills. Will be on the call tonight for this interesting contest between both teams. The Miners come in tonight off a win that improved them to the top of the ABL. They now lead the Oilers by a half game, and the Bucs coming off a win as well. They sit at fourth in the ABL at 8-11, and they are 3.5 back of the Matsu Miners. Last time these two teams saw each other was actually a week ago to the date on June 20th, where the Bucs got the better half of the Miners 4-2. As that contest was in Anchorage as well, and that moved the series to 2-2. So we're tied up at 2 with the Bucs getting the last win. The Miners got the better of the Bucs the 2 games prior to that. And as the first pitch is about to be thrown, we'll run through your Matsu Miners starting 9. Leading things off is the left fielder Kona Quiggle, followed by the third baseman Tyler Bozetti and right fielder Austin Pinarini. In the cleanup spot is first baseman Spencer Henson, followed up by second baseman Caleb Van Blake. The man behind the plate tonight, batting 6th, is David Avitia. And the last 3 spots, designated hitter Hunter Jump, shortstop Drew Swift, and center fielder Braden Merritt. They're going to face Preston Price, the right-hander out of the University of Arizona. Price, this is his 4th start of the year. Currently, he sits 1-0 through 13 innings pitched. With a 2.07 ERA, he's struck out 15 and has walked 4 batters. This is his first start in 8 days. So Price facing the Miners for the first time this season. And in his last start was a no decision through 5 innings pitched. He gave up 2 runs, both being earned, 5 hits and 6 strikeouts. So look, Bucs, who, as I just mentioned, coming off a win. But prior to that, Connor, they had lost 3 in a row, so only 1 win in 4 games.
No, it's hard. They're looking to build off some momentum they got yesterday off the win, but they're coming in against a red-hot Matsu Miner team, so it's going to be a tough one for them today.
And speaking of red-hot, that was the Matsu Miners bats. In that first inning yesterday against the Oilers, they scored 12 runs in the first inning, end up 17 through the first 3 innings as they did not score in the last 6. But nevertheless, they're ready to get things going, and they like to get as hot of a start, if not better this time, here in Anchorage against the Bucs. So Kona Quiggle will lead things off for the Miners. He had a grand slam in his second at-bat of the first inning to really soar the Miners well ahead. So Price on the mound, winds and delivers pitch number 1. He misses low and away. The count is now 1-0 to the leadoff man, Kona Quiggle, left fielder out of Grand Canyon University. Price winds and delivers his second pitch. This one hits the outer edge and moves the count to 1-1. Man calling the balls and strikes this evening is Nate DeSantis. Over at first, Brad Polk. And your third base umpire of the night is Mark Anthony Edwards. As Kona Quiggle swings through another pitch from Price, he's now down on the count 1-2. So Quiggle, with that home run yesterday, is at 2 home runs on the season. But he's down on the count, so Price's 1-2 pitch. Ruiz tried to frame it, but it'll miss outside, and the count's at 2-2. Price standing and trying to get Quiggle to go down on strikes. His 2-2 is flied over to the left side and out of play, so Quiggle stays alive. The Bucs come in tonight only giving up a team ERA of 3 on the dot. That ranks second, only behind the Miners, who are at 2.57. The 2-2 pitch into Quiggle is fouled behind us in the press box and out. And Connor, anytime you can have a team ERA of 2.57, that's going to make it really easy, and you'll win a lot of ball games.
Oh, definitely. Whenever your pitchers can step up and not give up more than 3 runs a game, that's fantastic.
And the 2-2 from Price, that misses high, so Kona Quiggle has worked a full count. And really, whoever's leading off for the Miners, whether it's Quiggle now, who's been leading off of recent, or Swift, they've been doing a good job of working these starting pitchers.
As a good leadoff man should.
So the full count pitch is fouled off behind. It really is, and these Miners are doing a very good job of working counts, seeing pitches they like, as they have actually have struck out the least in the ABL, only 117. So Price's 3-2 is on its way and misses outside, and Konaquiggle, just like yesterday, reaches on a walk.
Well, that's a good quality at bat from Konaquiggle. Getting behind in the count early, working it full, and then taking the walk. That's exactly what a leadoff man should do.
Yeah, just like yesterday, Konaquiggle working a count all the way full, drawing the walk. And now Tyler Bozzetti will step up to the dish, the right-handed hitting third baseman. So Price will work from the stretch for the first time tonight. He kicks and deals. He'll miss outside for ball one. 1-0, nobody out in the top of the first inning between the Miners and the Bucs. This is their fifth meeting of the season. The series is tied up at 2. As Price checks over to Quiggle, he dives back safely. Quiggle does have 2 stolen bases to his name this season, so you have to be careful with him out on first. Price sets from his waist and deals to Bozzetti. He'll miss outside, and he's down on the count 2-0.
I bet that first at bat, kind of rattled him a little bit. He was ahead, fell behind, and walked, and now he's just thrown 2 straight balls.
And especially when this Miners offense gets going, they are tough to stop. One of the top at-bats now as the bats are starting to come alive for this Miners offense. Price's 2-0 is swung on and missed by Tyler Bozzetti. The count is now 2-1.
It was amazing. Going into yesterday's game, they were kind of middle of the pack with batting, middle to bottom half. Now in most categories, they've risen to the top.
Well, when you have 17 runs on 16 hits, that'll definitely help out everyone's average. And currently it's 2-1 count. Price kicks and deals. He nails the outside edge for strike 2. So Bozzetti will have to protect as the count sits at 2-2. Konaquiggle out there on first. He drew a leadoff walk. Bozzetti coming into this at-bat with an average of 224 so far as we work towards the middle of the season. Price is 2-2, swung and missed by Tyler Bozzetti, so he's set down on strikes. Price's first strikeout of the night and first out recorded. So Bozzetti couldn't quite catch up to the fastball right there. And that brings up Austin Pinarini, left-handed hitting right fielder. Had himself quite the day yesterday. 3 for 6. He had a home run, a double, and 4 RBIs. So he stays into the dish with 1 down. Looks at first pitch from Price. That misses low. The count is now at 1-0. We mentioned Price was out of the University of Arizona, where this past spring he saw 12 appearances with a 2.7 ERA and 9.2 innings pitched. Pinarini fouls it back over to the left side behind the plate, and the count is now worked to 1-1. 1 down, top of the first inning, no score. The Miners do have a runner on first, however, to begin this ball game here at Mulcahy Stadium. Price set from the stretch. His 1-1 is soared over left side foul and out of play. So Pinarini is now down on the count 1-2. So Price has now worked 2 strikes into the first 3 Miners hitters. Anytime you can get 2 strikes as a pitcher, no matter where you're at in the count, it's a good sign.
It is. Pitcher feels comfortable when he's ahead, and of course the opposite batters don't.
The 1-2 is a warm burner over to second, tread away over to short for 1, and the toss over to first for 2 is in time. So the Bucs end the inning with a 4-6-3 double play. And the Miners will throw up a goose egg to start this ball game, and we'll move into the home half of the first inning here on Matsu Miners Radio when we return. Welcome back into Mulcahy Stadium here in Anchorage, Alaska for tonight's contest between the Miners and Bucs. The Miners threw up a 0 in the top half of the first inning, and the Bucs will come up to bat for the first time tonight, and their lineup goes as follows. Leading things off is the designated hitter Willie Escala, followed by the left fielder Daniel Fredrickson. And in the 3 spot is first baseman Jake Veith, followed up by third baseman J.C. Correa, and second baseman Tanner Treadaway bats 5th, followed by center fielder Brennan Bro. And in right, batting 7th, Jace Vandebrake. And in the 8th spot, catching Jose Ruiz, and rounding out the order in the 9 hole is Dimitri Calaccio. So when they'll face one of the top pitchers in this minor starting rotation, Josh Haley, has had 4 appearances, started 2 games, and he's 1-0, and through 16 3rd pitches has a 1.10 ERA with 14 strikeouts. He's been dominant and reliable for these minors.
He's been really fun to watch on the mound and equally as fun to watch off the mound. So, he's always involved with the antics in the dugout or the bullpen.
A real high-energy guy, as his first pitch misses low to Willie Escala. You just mentioned a lot of personality. Always loves cheering on his teammates. Big team guy. So his 1-0 pitch misses low. He's now fallen in the count, 2-0. Nobody out. Escala steps in. He's having himself quite the nice season, batting .315 with a .383 on base percentage, the left-handed hitting designated hitter. He dribbles one in the left side of the infield. Coming off the mound and making the nice play is Josh Haley for out number 1.
Well, Haley had to go on a bounce there as he realized Bassetti was playing a little bit back. Wasn't a great chance for him to make the play, so Haley made it himself and did it nicely.
And the Miners defense goes as follows. From left to right on the infield is Tyler Bozetti at third, Swift at short, Caleb Van Blake at second, Spencer Henson at first. In the outfield, left fielder is Kona Quiggle. In center, Braden Merritt. And over in right is Austin Pinery. And the man behind the plate tonight, David Avitia. As this first pitch into Daniel Fredrickson is fouled off over to the left side. Fredrickson bats from the left side of the plate. So a lefty on lefty matchup for the first time in the bottom half of the first inning. As Josh Haley misses high near the numbers of Fredrickson. Counts now 1-1. 1 out, bottom of the first inning. We haven't seen any score yet here at Mulcahy Stadium. Josh Haley looks in. Left hand dangling. His 1-1 pitch is a hard grounder over to second base, but making the nice backhand play is Caleb Van Blake for out number 2. Quite the easy play for Mr. Van Blake over at second.
Yeah, made it look a little fancy. Had some time to get in front of it. Likes to go with the backhand, and good throw. Good play.
And some guys are just more comfortable with that backhand situation rather than glove hand. We were talking on the way here with skipper Ben Taylor. Derek Jeter was a guy like that. Always preferred the backside rather than the glove side. Nevertheless, we have 2 outs in the bottom of the first inning. That brings up the Bucs first baseman, Jake Veith. He's also a left-handed hitter. He takes the ball inside, move the count to 1-0. The Miners do have a shift on for Veith. So the 1-0 is rocketed foul over to the right side.
Well, after 3 years of being here in the ABL for Jake Veith, I think the Miners have a good idea where he likes to hit the ball.
Yeah, and that moves Bozetti. He's almost playing behind second base bag. Van Blake is in shallow right, and Henson's near the line at first. And none of that matters as Josh Haley hits Veith. So he'll reach, and the Bucs have a man on board for the first time tonight with 2 outs in the bottom of the first inning. So a little mishap for Josh Haley with a fastball. Good for him. There is 2 outs, however, but it does bring up cleanup hitter J.C. Correa. Correa is a right-hand hitting third baseman. First pitch into Correa is grounded softly over to Van Blake, who sort of had trouble scooping it up, but then refound it and throws over to first for out number 3. So the Bucs get 1 man on, but they leave him stranded, and we're still scoreless after 1 on Matsu Miners Radio. No score through 1 inning of play here in Anchorage between the Miners and the Bucs, and the Miners come back up to the plate. For the first time in 2 games, the Miners have not scored in the first inning. Or rather, for the first time in a game, as they scored in yesterday's matchup. They did score back in the 23rd against the Pilots in the first inning. But other than that, or rather, and on the 22nd. So the Miners stand in, no score. We'll see the 4, 5, 6 hitters due up for the Miners, as they're still in search for their first hit against Preston Price, the right-hander. Price out of Vista, California, where his combined junior and senior high school stats at Cathedral Catholic were 17 appearances through 77 and 2/3 innings. He had 78 strikeouts with a 1.98 ERA. So quite a performance back in his prep days. It's his first pitch into Spencer Henson, misses low for ball 1. The righty-on-righty matchup to begin the second inning. Second pitch into Henson, misses outside. Counts now 1-1. And I guess when you have those numbers, no wonder you're going to have the big schools like University of Arizona knocking down your door, Connor.
Yeah, absolutely.
The 1-1 to Henson. He thought about it and went through. Home plate umpire Nate DeSantis said he went, so he has fallen in the count 1-2. Henson, much like most of the Miners, had himself quite a day. 3 for 5 with an RBI. Also came around to score twice in the 17-1 domination victory over the Oilers. The 1-2 from Price is chopped over to second base. Treadaway swallows it up and throws over to first for out number 1. So the Bucs defense goes as follows. Third base is Correa, shortstop Calaccio, second baseman Treadaway, at first base Jake Veith, and behind the plate is Jose Ruiz. In the outfield and left is Fredrickson, and center is Bro, and over and right is Van de Break. So with 1 down, top of the second inning, we haven't seen anyone score yet. Price winds and delivers and misses outside to Caleb Van Blake. Left-handed hitting second baseman, Van Blake, one of the newer Miners. This is only his 14th at-bat of the season. A 1-0 to Van Blake. That's rocketed into left field. That's going to get over Fredrickson's head and 2-hop to the wall. And around first and going in with a stand-up double is Caleb Van Blake. So the Miners have a runner in scoring position with only 1 out, courtesy of Caleb Van Blake's double.
Well, great opposite field hitting for Van Blake, attacking the first pitch. And, just taking it the way where it was pitched. It was on the outside corner, and he hit it that way. Didn't try to pull it.
That's Van Blake's first double of the season. Second extra base hit. They had a home run in yesterday's contest. So he stands out on second as David Avitia steps in, the right-hand hitting catcher. And Price will once again work out of the stretch from back-to-back innings to start this game. He misses low and away. Nice block by Ruiz to keep it in front of him. And the Miners have been really hitting very well against this Bucs team, coming in with a .259 average. They've also been averaging close to 5 runs a ball game. So when you face a team like that, you definitely have the confidence up. Price stares down Van Blake over at second. His 1-0 pitch. That hits the outside corner for strike 1. 1-1, 1 down, top of the second inning. No score between the Miners and Bucs, but the Miners definitely threatening with a runner in scoring position and only 1 out. Price comes set from the stretch. He winds and deals. His pitch is shot over into right field, but Van de Break is under it, and he'll make the catch. Van Blake thought about going on second, but he jogs back to second. And with 2 outs, Hunter Jump stands in. The left-handed hitting designated hitter tonight for the Miners. And he started out hot, had 8 RBIs early, but hasn't had one in a while. So Jump looking to change that right now. Jump has not had an RBI in 8 days. The last time was against the Chinooks. The last time he drove someone in. As he takes the strike outside. Jump comes in with a .217 average. .266 on base percentage. So Price looking to work his way out of a jam. Small jam, that is. He takes a long look at second. Now kicks and deals. The 0-1 fouled over to the left side. Now to play. There's now 2 strikes and no balls on Hunter Jump with 2 outs in the top of the second inning. Still scoreless. Lights starting to turn on here at Mulcahy Stadium as we have a cloudy day. Temperature around 62 degrees Fahrenheit.
Not sure if the lights are really needed, though. Very, very light out here.
Yeah, it really is. That sun's still peeking through a bit through the clouds as the 0-2 misses outside. The count's now at 1 ball, 2 strikes. And we do notice this at Mulcahy is they do turn on the lights a little prematurely, but it never hurts. Never hurts, especially in baseball. It's hard to see that little white object. The 1-2 from Price misses low. Ruiz had to drop to his knees to stop that one. And the count's now tied up at 2.
You know, the one thing I've seen about Price now in these 2 at-bats, Van Blake takes a little jump back. Price looks back at him, and then the last 2 pitches go inside. So he's getting in his head a little bit.
Yeah, definitely, as you mentioned, head games going on right now. And as a pitcher, that's what you have to be wary of. But Price gets jumped to swing through regardless for out number 3 of the inning. And once again, the Miners lay another goose egg out on the scoreboard. We haven't seen any runs come across through an inning and a half. And keep it right here on Matsu Miners Radio. No score between Miners and Bucs as we enter the home half of the second inning. And the Bucs look to change that with Treadaway, Bro, and Van de Break due up. But Josh Haley still on the mound for the Miners. As we mentioned, his only hiccup in the first inning was hitting Jake Veith. Other than that, he retired the rest of the 3 Bucs batters. So the left-hander who just finished up his spring ball at Arizona University of Arizona, I should say. Looks to keep it up. Tanner Treadaway, as I just mentioned, will stand in the left-handed hitting, or rather right-handed hitting second baseman. Spent his last spring season at Seminole State in Oklahoma as he takes a first pitch outside for strike 1. And Treadaway, who is now a University of Oklahoma commit. So the 0-1 from Haley is a breaker that misses outside. He's had quite the nice start to the season, batting .234, .258 on base percentage. As he dribbles one near the first base line, that'll roll just foul before any of the Miners defensemen can get to it. And now Haley's ahead in the count, 1-2 to the leadoff man, Treadaway. Mentioned the Miners pitching has been dominant. Only have allowed 4 runs in this 4-game win streak. So out there on the mound, really giving their hitters a great chance to just provide a few runs, and then they'll take the rest of the heavy load.
That's only averaging 1 run per game. That's very good from the Miners.
And it really is. And one of the more exciting parts of the Miners pitching is the bullpen. Always with antics out in tonight, and they're in right field where the bullpen is. As this one is grounded over to Drew Swift. He makes the nice play for out number 1. And going back to the bullpen, they're always up to antics and some great celebrations last night. After Kona Quiggle hit the grand slam, they all got in formation and did a rowing sequence. So that was pretty neat.
Oh, yeah. They make it fun out there. They enjoy themselves, and they stay loose. Instead of just sitting around waiting to be called, they're up there doing stuff.
And you have to be with the long season as Bro stands in, fouls one over out of play to the left side. He's down on count 0-1. And you have to be. It's a long season. You're with these guys all the time. You got to have fun. You can't be serious all the time. When serious moments matter, obviously, you buckle down. But sometimes you just got to relax. Josh Haley misses high. The count's now 1-1. Brennan Bro, who's looking for a hit today, he did not get a hit in yesterday's contest. As he takes the 1-1 pitch outside for ball 2.
That was a good breaker from Haley. Not sure where it might have been. Maybe outside, looked like across the plate, but no cigar.
The 2-1 from Haley is lined softly up the alley. Braden Mayer won't be able to get to it. He'll field it off the hop. And the Bucs, just like the Miners, have a man on through these first 2 innings. It's the first hit of the game for the Bucs. As back in the first inning, Veith reached on a hit by pitch. So Haley will once again work out of the stretch and face Jace Vandebreak, who hits from the left side of the dish. Vandebreak doesn't really have a great batting average in 196, but has reached out a clip of 305 as he hits one right in front of the plate, bounces high, and Vitia makes the throw down at first for out number 2.
Almost saved Vandebreak there was how high that one was bounced up. Took some time to get down to the ground so that Vitia could throw it to him, but a strong throw from David, and he gets him.
And we mentioned it is a turf infield here at Mulcahy Stadium. And it was shown right there with the bouncy rubber pellets shooting that ball straight up in the air. So Haley looks to get the third out here. Bro did advance 90 feet. He's in scoring position with 2 outs. That would be the first run of the ball game as Haley misses outside for ball 1. 1-0, 2 down, bottom of the second inning. No score between the Miners and the Bucs. Miners with the camo jerseys, white pants, green and yellow cap, as Ruiz fouls one over to the right side and out of play. With green lettering and a yellow lining, and then yellow numbers, where the Bucs have the pinstripe uniforms. White uniform, black pinstripe, black lettering and numbers with a yellow outline, and the black helmets and caps. So Haley's 1-1. Misses inside. Count is now 2-1. And Haley, who really rolled through his last start, sort of not necessarily struggling to begin this ball game, but not getting off to that fire start as his 2-1. Nice off-speed pitch. Does miss high. So Ruiz works this count full. So Haley working with a 3-1 count with 2 outs in this bottom of the second inning. So Haley's 3-1 and misses low. He'll walk Ruiz. That's his first walk issued tonight. And now the Bucs have runners on first and second with 2 outs.
Haley's going to have to buckle down here and try to get this out. We're at the bottom of the lineup. Traditionally, not your strongest hitter. So take care of Dimitri Colaccio, and then you don't have to face the top.
As Haley set down the first 6 batters he saw back in his last start on the 19th. He now has, this will be the 9th batter he's faced so far today. So he'll see the whole entire lineup as Colaccio looks at one on the outer edge for strike 1. So 0-1 is the count. Runners on first and second. Still scoreless as Colaccio flies one behind the press box and out of play. Now Haley's ahead and in the driver's seat, 0-2 with 2 outs. He could set down Colaccio. That would be very big, especially on strikes, to kind of get his momentum back. So Haley will come set from the torso, checks second, now kicks and deals his 0-2 off speed that heads outside for ball 1. He had a pitch to waste, and he did so right there.
Now, you never want to hit anywhere near the strike zone when you're up 0-2. Try to get the batter to chase. Don't give him anything good to hit.
So Haley now looks to possibly set down Colaccio. Colaccio struck out 7 times this season. The 1-2 from Haley is once again fouled and out of play to the right side. So the count will stay at 1-2. Colaccio doing a nice job of protecting. He did not play in yesterday's matchup, but did play the day before where he went 0-3 and did score. And has only seen the Miners pitching staff once, in which he went 0-4. So Haley once again comes set for the 1-2 pitch. And that's a nice breaking ball that gets Colaccio swinging. That's his 8th strikeout of the season. He's yet to get a hit against the Miners. And we have now seen yet another scoreless inning. We move into the third inning, still scoreless on Matsu Miners Radio. No score through 2 innings. Miners look to change that here in the top half of the third inning. Swift, Merritt, and Quiggle do up for the Miners. And we mentioned the Miners riding into this game with a 4-game win streak and now a newfound lead in the ABL. They lead the Oilers, who they defeated last night in an absolute stomping 17-1 by a half a game. The Chinooks followed the Oilers in third. They're a game and a half back. And the Bucs in fourth at 3.5 back. And the Pilots sit in the cellar of the ABL, 4.5 behind the Miners. So Swift stands in, the right-handed hitting shortstop. He'll face Price, who's out there for his third inning of work. He winds and delivers into Drew Swift, who hits the zone for strike one. Swift this season batting 212, or batting 212 rather, as he takes a pitched high, move the count to 1-1. Swift, once again, these numbers pretty much for every Miner hitter are very good, as he went 2 for 4 yesterday with 3 ribbies. He swings through hard and now has fallen behind in the count 1-2. So Price looking to set down Swift. He winds and delivers the 1-2 and gets Swift swinging through for out number 1 of the inning. Price up to 3 strikeouts now on the evening. That brings up Braden Merritt, left-handed hitting center fielder, so we'll have a righty on lefty matchup. Merritt has only hit against the Bucs once, where he went 1 for 3. So Price's first pitch into Merritt. He's looking to bunt for a hit just down the third base line and just rolls foul as it was spinning. Wanted to stick. Nice attempt from Merritt, as he would have definitely made it with that speed and really in a dead zone, so none of the Bucs defensemen could get to it.
Well, an interesting decision by Ruiz. He kind of just swatted at it, but when he did, it almost went into fair territory. Of course, it wouldn't have counted, but, just pick it up and make sure,
So Price is 0-1 to Merritt. It is lined foul and out of play to the left side, and count is now 0-2. Braden Merritt, we've mentioned it in other broadcasts, but it's changed up his stance. Talking to him pregame, he's really enjoyed it. He said, I'm getting hits, so I got to like it. Now the 0-2 from Price misses outside for ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out, top of the third inning. No score through 2 innings of play. So Price winds and deals. His 0-2 is lifted foul and out of play by Braden Merritt. Merritt out of New Mexico University. Merritt had quite the season. A nice season there, batting .293 and a .344 on base percentage for the Lobos. And the 1-2 is a breaker that just misses outside. Ruiz tried to frame it, but home plate umpire Nate DeSantis wasn't seeing it, and the count is now tied up at 2. Price's 2-2 pitch is grounded, chopped over to short. Moving in, making the play is Calaccio for out number 1. So the Miners 2 up and 2 down to start this inning. And we'll head back to the top of the order with Kona Quiggle, who is still 0 for 0 today as he walked back in his first at-bat. Quiggle, once again, quite the day yesterday. 2 for 5 with a grand slam. Ended up coming around to score 3 times as well. Obviously once for the home run. As he skies one foul and out of play to the left side. Counts now at 0-1 with 2 outs in the top of the third inning. No score. As it wasn't really a lot of offense in the last time these two teams played. Just a 4-2 ball game. The Bucs had 9 hits, the Miners with 6. As we've only seen a combined total of 2. As Price misses outside, the count's now 1-1. So Price winds and delivers. Quiggle shoots one foul left side. No chance of getting to that one. Now he has fallen in the count 1-2. But we definitely have seen Quiggle perform with 2 strikes. Obviously hit the grand slam. Or rather, did not hit the grand slam, but has gotten many hits with 2 strikes. This time, a hard one hit over to second. But Treadaway eats it up and throws to first for out number 3. So the Miners are retired in order, and we haven't seen a score through 2.5 innings. The Bucs bring the bats up in the bottom of the third, and we come back on Matsu Miners Radio. So the Miners, after getting retired in order, now look to do the same to the Bucs, as we haven't seen any score through the first 2.5 innings. Josh Haley will see the Bucs top of the lineup once again. Willie Escala will lead things off. He grounded actually back to Haley back in the first inning. So Haley has only allowed 1 hit through these first 2 innings of play. As the Bucs, with the 3rd best average actually in the ABL, as Escala hits one near the line and rolls foul. 3rd in the ABL with a .224 batting average, opposed to the Miners, who lead the ABL with a .243. So the Miners, after that monster performance yesterday, definitely rised in the ranks of the ABL. And also just the Bucs not scoring a lot of runs, only 71 runs scored. That's 4th in the ABL currently. So they look to get some more output in the run department as Haley misses outside. 1-1's the count. So Haley's 1-1 pitch into Escala hits the outer edge for strike 2. Counts now 1-2. If you remember, Willie Escala back in the first time these two teams played made really a crucial error that allowed the Miners to get 3 more runs in a first inning, where the Miners led 5-0. So Escala chops one over to third. Bozzetti makes the nice stop and throw over for out number 1.
Now, Bozzetti with a very strong arm. Normally he's a shortstop. He's playing third base here with the Miners, but made a nice pick. And there was no curve to the ball. Henson just kind of put his glove up and knew where it was going to be.
So nice play there from Tyler Bozzetti. And it's really weird. The past 2 innings for the Miners, the men who have made the first out were actually the men due up in the next inning. And Fredrickson, he skies one into the middle of the infield, and making the catch is Drew Swift for out number 2. So 1 pitch in and out to Fredrickson from Haley. That makes life quite easy. So 2 down here in the bottom of the third inning. With no score, Jake Feith stands in. He does not have an official at-bat as he was hit by a pitch back in the first inning, and he'll see that shift. So Henson near the line at first, Van Blake and shallow right, and Bozzetti is just over to the right side behind second, and Swift still playing in pretty much that shortstop hole. Outfield has shifted over as well. Jump is backed up, or Pinarini is backed up a few steps, and Merritt is just in right center field, and Quiggle's also moved over towards left center. As Haley hit in for a strike and then missed outside for a ball. The count is now 1-1. So Haley winds and delivers into Veith. Nice pitch on the inside part of the plate. He's ahead in the count 1-2 with 2 outs in the bottom of the third inning. Score still at 0 apiece. So Haley's his 1-2 pitch. Gets Veith swinging. Josh Haley's second strikeout of the night sets down the Bucs in order, just like the Miners, and no score through 3. And through the middle half of this ball game, I'll throw it over to Connor Mills here on Mat-Su Miners Radio.
It's the top of the fourth inning. Due up for the Miners. Tyler Bassetti, Austin Pianarini, and Spencer Henson. No score here on the top of the fourth, as it has been a good pitching duel between Preston Price and Josh Haley. Price so far, 3 scoreless innings. Only allowed 1 hit, a walk, and 3 strikeouts. As he deals here to Tyler Bassetti, low and outside for ball 1. Bassetti's average now in the season at .220. As he looks to raise it here, as this one is hit over towards the right side in foul territory. And out of play. So the count, 1 ball and 1 strike. Bassetti struck out his first time up. As Preston's pitch, this one's lined into the gap on the left side for a base hit. So a good piece of hitting from Tyler Bassetti, as he's the leadoff man on base here in the top of the fourth inning.
Rocket shot by Bassetti. Definitely got the barrel of the bat on that one to move it in the shortstop and third base gap. Great way for the Miners to get their leadoff hitter on.
That brings up the hot bat of Austin Pianarini. Like you said, got 3 hits yesterday and 4 RBIs. And a staple at the 3 spot in the winning streak, as he's first pitch swinging on Price's pitch. Fouls it straight back.
You mentioned hot hitting. He is now tied for third with his teammate Kona Quiggle with 11 RBIs with that 4 RBI performance yesterday.
Well, a 17-run game will do that. Second pitch into Pianarini's taken high for ball 1. Infield straight away. Outfield shifted a little towards left. Center field is on the left side of the second base. Price pitching from the stretch, and he deals. Swung on, fouled off left side. So the count goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes with nobody out here in the top of the fourth inning. Bassetti's on first base. He reached on a single. Pianarini, as you said, coming into today, batting .306. Stands in here on the left side with a 1-2 count. He swings, fouls it off, and he stays alive.
Pianarini really has one of the more smooth swings on this Mat-Su Minor team. Not a whole lot to it, but when he really quicks it up a little bit and gets the hands through, it's really a beautiful sight to see.
Something that manager Ben Taylor has really loved as of late. 1-2 pitch, swung on and missed. Dropped on the dirt, but it's going to count as a strikeout nonetheless. So Austin Pianarini swinging through a strike as that brings up Spencer Henson. Henson today grounded out to second base in his only plate appearance. And has a batting average of .348. So with a runner on first base, Preston Price pitching from the stretch. First one into Henson's grounded over to short. Calaccio has it, throws over to second for one and to first for the double play. A 6-4-3 double play ends the inning as we head towards the bottom of the fourth. You're listening to the Mat-Su Miners on the Miner Radio. Welcome back into the bottom of the fourth inning here at Mulcahy Stadium in Anchorage, Alaska. Connor Mills, Brad Walker with you on the call. Due up in the inning, 4, 5, 6. Correa, Treadaway, and Bro. As J.C. Correa stands in. He grounded out to second his first trip to the plate as he takes a fastball in the inside corner for a called strike. Haley very effective through these first 3 innings, as this one is lined out into the no man's land in left field for a base hit. A soft line drive gets the leadoff man for the Anchorage Bucs on here in the bottom of the fourth.
Yeah, not a whole lot to that hit from Correa, but it was effective. As you mentioned, no one in the area for the Miners. Sometimes that's all you have to do, throw the ball in places that the defensemen aren't.
That brings up Tanner Treadaway, who grounded out to short his first time up. A lefty on righty matchup for Haley as he checks over to Correa. Make sure he stays at first. Josh Haley sets and deals. This one's grounded up the middle for a base hit. That goes into center field. Braden Merritt has it, but not before Tanner Treadaway and J.C. Correa go back-to-back with singles. Anchorage Bucs are in business here in the bottom of the fourth inning. There's no score with 2 men on base.
And when you see an ace like Haley, really all you're trying to do as a batter is get the bat on the ball and make the defense work or throw it in spots they aren't. And for the past 2 hits, that's exactly what the Bucs are doing, putting it in spots that the Miners aren't. And that way, they are now have 2 runners on.
Well, from Brandon Bro, he had the first hit of the game as he attempts a bunt and pulls it way back as Haley's breaking pitch goes up and in. Bro had the last hit in the bottom of the second, and then we haven't seen a hit since the bottom of the fourth. First one coming from Correa, second one from Treadaway. Brandon Bro at the plate. He takes a breaking one in there for a called strike. Count goes even at 1 ball and 1 strike with nobody out. Runners on first and second. Josh Haley looking into David Avitia, getting the sign. Swift moving over towards second, trying to hold on Correa. As Haley's ready, he throws a fastball too far outside for ball 2.
And if you're Haley, it's just about locating that fastball. He's just trying to hit that edge so that way Bro can pull back and he can possibly sneak in another strike But when you know a man's just trying to sacrifice, it's never a bad idea to just throw it out over the middle of the plate.
2 balls and 1 strike, nobody out. Swing and a miss from Brandon Bro brings the count to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Swinging away on that one instead of attempting a sacrifice bunt.
Yeah, which didn't make a lot of sense to me because if you're going to try a bunt early in the count, when you know the pitcher is just going to throw you some fastballs and swinging away, and now you're down to only 1 more strike.
The 2-2 from Haley swung on and just fouled off. And for Bro, maybe he's thinking, all right, I faked a bunt a couple times and wasn't able to get it. Now I'm going to fake one, pull it back, and swing. As Henson was coming in to charge in on the bunt, should it have been laid down, but it wasn't. So 2-2 the count to Brandon Bro with runners on first and second. We're here in the bottom of the 4th inning. No score between the Matsu Miners and the Anchorage Bucs. Haley's 2-2 is outside for ball 3. The count runs full with nobody out and runners on first and second base.
Going back to Bro's bunt attempts, it's a lot of times in sports, it's all a mental game, and that's probably what he was just trying to show there, is to get Haley thinking he's going to bunt, and now Haley having to pitch as if he were to swing through.
The 3-2 from Haley, taken high and inside for ball 4. Now the bases are loaded against Josh Haley and the Matsu Miners. There is nobody out with bases loaded. J.C. Correa is on third, Tanner Treadaway on second, and Brandon Bro, the new runner on base, he's at first. Now I'll draw a conversation from pitching coach Jeff Erlab. At this time, I'd like to thank the internet sponsors of the Matsu Miners, the Napa Auto Parts of Alaska, and owner Jim Ruda. If you're here in Alaska, go to your locally operated and owns Napa Auto Parts and ask about the Matsu Miners jersey giveaway for your chance to win.
This is really the first time tonight any team is truly threatened throughout this ball game. In the middle part of the ball game, not a bad time to strike if you're the Bucs. Always nice getting that first lead, but Josh Haley has been in these tough situations before. Definitely pitched out of them, looking to keep that solid ERA. But the first thing he has to worry about is get that first out. It's always the toughest one. But once you get that, more things start to roll.
So the first out he needs to get is Jace Vandenbrink. Following up him is Jose Ruiz. He's on deck. But Vandenbrink today attempted a bunt. Avitia popped up and threw him out. So his first pitch into Vandenbrink is too low for ball 1. Corners are in for the Miners. Infield is back in double play position. Outfield kind of shallow. As Haley's pitch is swung on, fouled right back, and the count evens itself out at 1 ball and 1 strike.
Haley just has to settle in and pitch like he was through the first 3 innings, but also be wary of those 3 runners on, so can't be super aggressive with his pitches.
The 1-1 to Vandenbrink swung on and missed for strike 2. So Haley 1 strike away from getting a 1 out closer to ending this potential nightmare of an inning. Bases are loaded against Haley here in the bottom of the 4th inning. 2 singles and a walk. As the 1-2 looked at, but no call from Nate DeSantis. That one was very close. A good breaker into the zone, but it just missed somewhere as the count goes to 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Tell you what, I don't know if that ball could have broke any later, and when it did, I thought it was going to be a strike 3 call, but just a little high.
2 balls, 2 strikes. This one fouled off towards the left side, stays in play, but nobody catches it. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out. Runners on first, second, and third for the Anchorage Bucs, as David Aviti would like to have a chat with Josh Haley.
That last pitch was very similar to the one before, and Vandenbrink did a nice job of letting it come in and then realizing it was going to be close again and just got it with the inside of the bat to foul it off.
2-2 the count. No score here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Haley has his sign, and he deals. Swung on and missed strike 3. Jace Vandenbrink goes down swinging. Josh Haley with his third strikeout of the day, and he is 1/3 of the way there of having a scoreless inning. But faces a tall task here against Jose Ruiz.
And that was huge, though. But 2 of those 3 strikes thrown by Haley were out of the zone and getting Van de Beek to chase. So doing a nice job of having these Bucs hitters and Van de Beek right there guessing.
First pitch from Haley into Ruiz is on the outside corner for a called strike. Haley has to dig deep here as the bases are loaded. The second pitch swung on, found straight back. He's ahead in the count. No balls and 2 strikes.
Once again, huge from Haley to work out in front. Now he can just waste a pitch or 2 or maybe locate a pitch in a spot he wouldn't quite think of. And if he misses, it's not going to be the end of the world.
Well, the spot the pitchers like to miss is just bounce it in the dirt, but that might not be a good idea with the bases loaded as this one is grounded towards the hole. Diving is Bassetti, but he can't get it. 1 run is in, and that will be all. An RBI single from Jose Ruiz breaks the scoreless game here in the bottom of the 4th. It's the Anchorage Bucs 1, Matsu Miners nothing, and Haley still has to deal with bases loaded and 1 out.
Yeah, Haley throwing a fastball there that caught a little too much of the plate, and Ruiz jumped on it, did a nice job of just pulling it into that gap. Bozetti nearly grabbing it. That would have been a huge play. But if you look at the bright side of the situation, only 1 run allowed from that single.
His first pitch bounces into the turf to Dimitri Calaccio. And, you almost wonder if bringing the infield in hurts you or helps you at times. Because if Bassetti was playing back, then he would have had more time to react to it. Tried to dive for it. If he was playing back, he would have gotten it. As this one is hit out into center field, moving over towards left center is Braden Merritt. He makes a catch, lining up and throwing in, but it's going to be cut off by Drew Swift as the second run is in here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Bucs 2, Miners nothing. So Braden Merritt is throwing it into Drew Swift as that's the second run in. Dimitri Calaccio with a sacrifice fly as the Bucs take a 2-0 lead.
And if Haley can get this last out, obviously giving up the 2 runs is rough, but only 2 runs is not the worst thing in the world when you have bases loaded with nobody out.
That brings up the top of the order as first pitch is low and outside for ball 1. Willie Escala so far today grounded out back to Haley and grounded out to third on a 5-3 putout. Count 1 ball, no strikes. Now 2 outs with runners on first and second as this one is lifted out into right field. Pinarini eyeing it up, makes the 2-hand grab, and the side is retired. So Josh Haley limits the damage to only 2 here in the bottom of the 4th, but the Anchorage Bucs take the lead. It's the Bucs 2, Miners nothing as they come to the plate in the top of the 5th. You're listening to the Matsu Miners on the Miner Radio. It's the top of the fifth inning. Due up for the Miners, Caleb Van Blake, David Aviti, and Hunter Jump. And on the mound for the Bucs is Preston Price. He just got a fresh new lead. It's the Bucs 2, Miners nothing. Caleb Van Blake, his first time up, hit an opposite field double. As it looks like somebody called time. Nate DeSantis gives it. Might have been a little bit of a wind. First pitch from Price is swung on by Van Blake and fouled off towards the right side. Picking it up is Miner player Danny Wright. So the count, no balls, one strike, no outs here in the top of the fifth. Second pitch in. This one's grounded over to first base. Jake Veith has it, runs it himself over, and that's how the first out will happen. So a 3-U in your scorebooks if you're scoring at home. That brings up David Avitia. Avitia last time flew out to right field. Miners only with 2 hits today, one coming from Van Blake and the other one coming from Bassetti. As a first pitch is a strike into David.
The Miners would definitely like to bounce back after giving up that 2-run lead and not trying to wait till the latter half of this game to attack.
Second pitch from Price is in for a ball. You know, it really shows the character of the team if you can come back and just bounce back, get some runs after giving up some in the bottom of the fourth inning. As that one catches the low and outside corner for strike 2 with V2 questions. And DeSantis shakes his head yes. So the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. Price working quick. He deals. This one is poked out into right field. Eyeing it up is Jace Vanderbrake. He makes a one-hand catch. So now there are quickly 2 outs here in the top of the fifth inning with Hunter Jump coming to the plate.
Hunter Jump, I think, is due really for a nice hit. Only 1 hit in yesterday's big offensive outing for the Miners, and obviously struck out back in the second. Hasn't quite had that huge hit that got everyone going. I think his time's very soon.
Well, first pitch swinging here is a line drive just fouling out of play along the left side.
Now, it's tough to hit it out here in Mulcahy as the wind seems to always be blowing in, but a big extra base hit would definitely help energize this Miners bench.
Second pitch from Price is in the turf. Let's even have to count at 1-1. You know, anything exciting at the plate, you know, you get the bullpen going, you get the dugout cheering. As the third one catches the outside corner, so Hunter Jump is behind in the count. 1 ball and 2 strikes at 2 away here in the top of the fifth. Should Jump continue this inning? On deck is Drew Swift. The 1-2 swung on and lined right at the third baseman, Correa. A nice play as that was a hot shot off the bat of Hunter Jump. So not much happening for the Miners here. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base as we head towards the bottom half of the fifth inning. You're listening to the Matsu Miners on the Miner Radio. It's the bottom of the fifth inning. Josh Haley returns to the mound, but he's down 2-0 as the Miners are trailing the Anchorage Bucs 2-0. Haley last inning gave up 2 runs. Both were earned, allowed 3 hits, no errors, and 2 are left on base as he looks to bounce back here in the bottom of the fifth. Daniel Fredrickson, Jake Veith, and J.C. Correa just made a nice play. Is due up here. First pitch is off speed towards Fredrickson, as it's in for a called strike. Haley's pitch, another changeup, is in there for a called strike, so he's ahead in the count. No balls and 2 strikes. Fredrickson 0 for 2 on the day, grounded out to second and popped up to short as he swings through this one for strike 3. The 4th strikeout now for Josh Haley, as he's faring better than he did last inning.
Miners once again going to shift as Jake Feith stands in. The first 3 batters really haven't done much for the Bucs. Only have reached once so far, and that was Feith back in the first inning.
First pitch bounces for ball 1. And Feith is the only batter in the ABL that we've seen who has warranted a shift for the Miners. He tries to lay down a bunt here, and it's a beauty. It goes down the line, but just foul. Jake Feith trying to bunt for a hit to remove the shift on him. As soon as Drew Swift saw it, he dashed towards the line, but the ball took a lucky turn for the Miners as it went right behind the third base bag into foul territory.
And I tell you what, that's just smart baseball right there. If they're going to give you that whole left side of the infield wide open, why not try to throw one over there? And Feith with a very good punt, as that almost squirreled around in fair territory.
1-1 from Haley to Feith. This is a check swing and goes foul. Feith not wanting to really offer his bat to that one, but he does. Count goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes.
And interesting that he swings there, as there was no shift sort of over that way with only 1 strike.
The 1-2 is lined, grounded over to Tyler Bassetti, who is standing behind the second base bag. So the shift works for the Miners here, as Jake Feith is retired on a, we'll call it a 5-3 putout, as Bassetti is the third baseman, but he was nowhere near third.
Yeah, but that's what it is designed for, to have guys in that spot from the middle of the field and over. And luckily, Bassetti was right there.
So the first 2 batters are retired, Ferguson and Feith. This is J.C. Correa. As the first pitch into him was a ball. The second pitch is a fastball down the middle for a called strike. So the count goes to 1 ball and 1 strike with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Anchorage Bucs are leading the Mat-Su Miners 2-0. Third pitch in from Haley hits the outside corner. So he's ahead quickly here on J.C. Correa. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Correa today grounded out to third and then had a single, came around to score. The 1-2 grounded along the right field line and foul. So the count remains 1-2.
Little score update from Shugiak. The Chinooks and Oilers all tied up at 1 in the top of the 5th inning.
1-2 from Haley. Too far outside. Haley thought it was there. Started taking some walks, as did the Miners infields. And an outfielder or 2. As the count goes to 2 balls and 2 strikes. The 2-2 rises high for ball 3. We'll be keeping a very close eye on that game, as the Oilers are only a half game back on the Mat-Su Miners. Miners win today. They control their own destiny. The 3-2 line drive right up the middle for a base hit. J.C. Correa is on base for the 2nd straight time with his 2nd straight hit.
Correa with that sweet swing, showing a good reason why he got drafted this past year's draft. Already 2 hits on this game, and he's definitely been a villain for the Bucs in the past against the Miners.
So I'll bring up Tanner Treadaway. I know there is a very long season to go. Control your own destiny might have been strong choice of words, as we still have plenty of more baseball. As the first pitch swinging from Treadaway, Swift has it, goes the easy route to second base, as that was retire the side. The Mat-Su Miners and the Anchorage Bucs. Bucs leading 2-0. Miners bats come to plate in the top of the 6th. You're listening to the Mat-Su Miners on the Miner Radio. It's a great pitcher's duel happening here as we're in the top of the 6th inning. Preston Price coming in for his 6th inning of relief of the game. Not of relief. Nobody has relieved him. Price so far holding the Miners to only 2 hits. As it's Drew Swift, Brady Merritt, and Conaquiggle due up. First one into Swift, bounces in the other side of the batter's box for ball 1. And Price just lowering that ERA, coming in today with a 2.07. So a great performance from him as he misses low in the middle for ball 2.
You got to wonder what the Miners' mindset was tonight after starting out so hot in yesterday's game and almost starting out very cool tonight.
The 2-0 hits the outside corner, brings the count to 2 balls and 1 strike. Swift so far, he's just struck out. As the Miners have only come one time around, as this one is lifted out and out of the stadium towards the right side. A couple cars will have to watch their windshields. It's a short distance from the field to a populated road. Price's 2-2 pitch is taken on the outside corner for strike 3 called. Swift has struck out twice today as Brady Merritt will come to the plate. Merritt so far grounded out to shortstop in his only appearance. And for Price now, as that pitch is in there for a called strike. 5 strikeouts, only 1 walk, and only 2 hits allowed through 5 1/3. There's only 1 out in the top of the 6th inning here. As second pitch to Brady Merritt misses high and away for ball 1.
You know, he's cruising through, but the Miners hitters just really haven't gotten the ball too much on it and hit it anywhere where the Bucs aren't really.
The 1-1 from Price. Swung on, fouled off, straight back, and Merritt knew he missed that one. Just got under it. So the count 1 ball and 2 strikes with 1 out, top of the 6th. Bucs over the Miners, 2-0. The 1-2 swung on, ground ball right back to Price. He takes a little jog over to first, underhand toss in time, 2 away. So Merritt being able to get the bat on the ball, but just right back to Price. As it's the top of the lineup for the Miners, Conaquiggle. And should this inning continue with 2 outs, Tyler Bassetti would be next. Righty on lefty matchup, Quiggle first pitch swinging, fouls it back for strike 1.
And that's the thing with the Miner hitters. They're being very aggressive tonight, swinging at the early pitches from Price, and you have to be at this point since you've seen him now for Quiggle 3 times.
Second pitch is taken for a ball, so the count goes to 1 ball and 1 strike. For the Miners, they haven't had a base runner since the 2nd inning or left on base. In the 4th, there was a double play as count goes to 2 balls and 1 strike, erasing the base runner there. And last inning, they were sat down right in order. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs, top of the 6th inning. The pitch from Price is outside, so the count goes to 3 balls and 1 strike. Quiggle was also the only walk of the game. That happened in the top of the 1st. The 3-1 swung on, fouled off towards the left side. Count goes to 3 balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs.
Quiggle just behind on that pitch. That would have been driven deep. He would have been just a half second earlier.
Pitching from the windup is Price. He's ready and deals. Swung on, fouled off. So Conaquiggle stays alive. At this time, it's either a hit or a walk. You hear a lot of baseball players say that. All we need, hit or a walk. As the count is 3-2, the pitch to Quiggle, line drive out into right center field. That goes down for a base hit, so Conaquiggle's on for the 2nd time today. A nice line drive hit into the gap for Quiggle, good for a single.
And Quiggle is just doing an absolutely wonderful job ever since moving up in the lineup into the leadoff spot. We talked to skipper Ben Taylor today, and he said he's not your normal leadoff guy, but he is doing a great job. He works counts, he finds ways to get on base, and that's exactly what you ask from your leadoff man.
You know what? He's always positive whenever we see him as well. And always good attitude to have at the top of your lineup and be one of your leaders as the fastball misses low and away to Tyler Bassetti.
And that's super important because that brings good karma, and it brings other guys up as well, as they want to have that good personality and good team camaraderie.
The 1-0 is swung on by Bassetti, found straight back. You know, he was really, doing his best when the Miners were struggling a bit last week. Now the Miners have found some success, having a winning streak at the top of the ABL. Big part to Kona Quiggle. To the count, 1 ball and 1 strike as Quiggle just takes off running. And a early steal is good for Kona Quiggle.
And I believe that may have been a balk, as first base, or rather second base umpire Mark Anthony Edwards called out Price on that, who kind of just turned around illegally once Quiggle went. And he's done that multiple times this year where he's went before pitchers even lifted their leg.
1-1 into Tyler Bassetti, swings through a high fastball. Count goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes. And you're right, I think Quiggle took off, and then because of that motion, that threw off Price, and unfortunately it's going to be a balk. It's not going to be a stolen base for Kona, but nonetheless, he's on second base now with a 1-2 count, 2 outs to Tyler Bassetti. He swings through this one for strike 3. So the Miners go quietly here in the top of the 6th inning. They still trail the Anchorage Bucs by a score of 2-0. You're listening to the Mat-Su Miners on the Miner Radio. Not much happening in the top half of the 6th inning. We're here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Brandon Bro, Jace Vandenbrake, and Jose Ruiz all due up here against Josh Haley. Haley coming in and staying in the game, trying to get through 6. He does trail, however, by a score of 2-0. As first pitch swinging is Bro. He grounds it over to second. Van Blake has it, throws it in time for the first out. So that's good for the pitch count for Josh Haley, as a chance to go even deeper into the game. A first pitch swinging out.
It really is. And after that sort of rough 4th inning, brought it back in the 5th inning, only allowing a hit. And this time in the 6th, 1 out, or 1 pitch and 1 out already. So Haley effective. That's what you have to be.
First pitch into Jace Vandenbrake is for a ball. Fastball misses low and away.
As a starting pitcher, you always have to be resilient. Even after giving up a few runs, your job is to still provide good innings on the mound.
As Vandenbrake grounds this one in foul territory along the right field line. Haley has done that. He bounced back from a rough 4th inning, able to throw up some zeros. As the third pitch in is grounded foul along the third base line. Vandenbrake so far today grounded, or had a bunt attempt that Avitia fielded, threw out to first, and then struck out in the 4th. As this pitch from Haley is fouled straight back. So the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes with 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Bucs leading the Miners 2-0. After scoring 17 runs yesterday, the Miners' bats are being held silent. today. As Haley's pitch swung on, found straight back, hits the press box, and rolls down the side.
Both pens now have a man up and warming up. So you got to wonder if the Bucs are going to relieve their starter and when the Miners relieve theirs.
Josh Haley's 1-2 pitch underway, swung on and fouled back towards the left side. Count remains at 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Vandebreak is on these pitches, fouling him straight back, but just can't quite get the barrel in the perfect spot on the ball to throw it out and play.
Vandebreak asking for time as a long stare in from Haley into Avitia. A little disagreement on some calls. Or maybe just trying to get in the head. Who knows? So the count's still 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Haley's ready and he deals. Swung on and fouled off again. So Vandebreak is a tough out for Haley to get.
And he really had Vandebreak reaching on that one on the outer edge.
So Haley pitching from the windup. He's ready and deals. Swung on, line drive out into right center field. Moving back is Austin Pinerini. He's not going to get it. And it goes all the way down to the wall. Rounding second and heading for third is Jace Vandebreak. So a head sliding first into third as Jace Vandebreak as he gets all over a 1-2 count. Austin Pinerini tried to cut the ball off in right field. Unfortunately, it went all the way back to the wall. And when Vandebreak saw that, he turned on the jets and went all the way to third base. So now the infield will be brought in as the pitching coach, Jeff Verlab, will look to have a little conversation now with Josh Haley.
Vandebreak, every pitch he fouled off, he was on, as I mentioned, just fouling it straight back, not quite getting the barrel squared up. And that time he did perfectly, throwing it out into right field and with his nice speed, getting the third. So great effort for the Bucs.
You know, we just throw out Jeff Verlab's name like, you know, he's just a regular pitching coach, but he spent 6 minor league seasons with the Oakland Athletics. He was drafted 3 times, once by the Tampa Bay Devil Rays in the 26th round. He was drafted by the Florida Marlins in the 47th in 2008 and the Oakland Athletics in the 30th round in 2010. Over his minor league season, he had an ERA of 2.90. So a pitching coach that was very accomplished in the major leagues throughout pro ball and is sharing his talent here as some of it hopes to wear off on Josh Haley as he has to deal with the runner on third. First pitch into Jose Ruiz is taken on the outside corner for a called strike. Infield will be brought in yet again. Outfield playing at normal depth. Second pitch is too high to Ruiz. Count goes even at 1 ball and 1 strike. 1-1 from Haley. Swung on. This one is tapped right back. Is it going to go fair or foul? Haley's going to try to let it go foul, but it just stands right there. It's an infield single for Jose Ruiz. So he does more damage to the Matsu Miners. Not a great hit for Jose Ruiz. It came right off the bat. They're going to look at the ball to see if it was damaged in any way. It was not. A cue ball shot finds no man's land here in the infield.
Real just unfortunate for the Miners right there. That's the second time tonight that the Bucs have had a hit like that. This time it hurts even more because it was so close to rolling foul and nothing the Miners can do about it.
First pitch swing is Dimitri Calaccio. On the move was Ruiz. So the lead is extended to 3 as the Bucs lead the Miners 3-0. All runs are earned against Josh Haley. No errors for the Miners. As Dimitri Collins had a sacrifice fly back in the 4th inning. Also struck out as this one's grounded over to Swift, making a diving play. Underhand toss to Van Blake. Toss it over to first in time. Double play. What a play from Drew Swift. A combo with Caleb Van Blake gets 2 outs as Josh Haley is only charged for 1 here in the bottom of the 6th inning. The score, the Anchorage Bucs won. Anchorage Bucs scored 1 in the inning. Their score right now, 3. Mat-Su Miners, nothing. As we head into the top of the 7th inning, I'll throw it back to Brad Walker.
Welcome back into Mulcahy Stadium, where the Bucs added on one more run in the previous inning to make the score 3-0. The Bucs on top of the Miners. They look to get the bats out, and fortunately for the Miners, they haven't seen a lot of late game run scorage, as in the past 2 games, they've only scored runs in the first 3 innings. So here in the top of the 7th, they will need to change that fact if they want to keep this winning streak going and move it up to 5 and pull ahead in the season series against the Bucs, 3-2. Pinarini, Henson, and Van Blake do up the heart of the order for the Miners, 3-4-5. Pinarini will stand in. He is 0 for 2 today, as the Miners only 3 hits on the ball game. Complete opposite of yesterday, where they had 16 on 17 runs scored. Price still on the mound for the Bucs, as he looks to have the longest start of the season. Currently, it sits with Riverio. He is 6 2/3 as he misses low for ball 1. To Pinarini. So the second pitch in Pinarini, he shoots one in the gap, but moving over is Van de Break from right field to make the grab for out number 1. That came off hot off the bat of Pinarini, but fortunately for him, that wind is blowing in, much like it always does here in Mulcahy, and he's set down. So that brings up Spencer Henson. He's also 0 for 2 tonight. But this is the time, as your Miners hitter, just the 3rd time you're seeing the starter, this is when you have to pounce on him before you see those relief pitchers.
Absolutely. At one point, you have to break through and try to get the pitcher. Obviously, both are going to try to adjust.
As Spencer Henson shoots one into left field, but once again, that wind just knocking it down. And Fredrickson makes the catch in left for out number 2.
Now, off the bat, I thought that might have been in the gap, but, just like you said, the wind is killing everything out there.
So now Price has tied his teammate Riverio for the longest outing as a Bucs starter, 6 2/3. So he faces Caleb Van Blake, the lefty. So he misses outside 1-0. There's someone up in the Bucs pen as they lead the Miners 3-0 here in the top of the 7th inning. Miners in search of their first run. Price winds and delivers into Van Blake. He looks at a strike in the zone. In the Bucs, they've given up 21 runs in the past 4 games. That's an average up near 5. Rather over 5, but tonight haven't even given up a single one thanks to Preston Price. He's now ahead in the count, 1-2, with 2 outs in the top of the 7th inning. Van Blake, one of the 3 hits tonight, had a double back in the 2nd and grounded out to first base in the 5th. So his looks at the 1-2 outside. Count's now tied at 2. Van Blake has only faced the Bucs once, where he went 0 for 2. Van Blake with a 600 on-base percentage so far for the Miners. The 2-2 pitch skied left and out of play. So the count will move 2-2.
Anytime you have an on-base plus slugging above 1, it's at 1.215 right now. That's pretty impressive for any batter.
Definitely. Anytime you get those high statistical numbers, you're doing something right. So Price will wind and deal. His 2-2 is a breaker that doesn't quite drop in the zone, so it misses outside, and Van Blake has now worked a full count.
You think high statistical unless you're thinking golf. Golf, you want the lower number.
Definitely. The payoff pitch from Price misses outside, and the Miners get a runner aboard with 2 outs in the top of the 7th inning.
Well, they'll look to have a little rally in the valley with 2 outs here in the top of the 7th. The Miners need to score some runs here as it's getting a little bit later. And right now, as we take a look at the out-of-town scorecard, Oilers are leading the Chinooks through 7.
And it wouldn't necessarily be a rally in the valley because we're not in the valley, but it'd be a
Technically.
rally from the boys that are from the valley.
There
What do
you
you
go.
think of that one?
There you go. We're getting something here.
Bethia takes strike 1. The count's now moved 0-1 strike. Price's second pitch in. That's kind of blooped out into shallow right field. Moving in, making the catches, Van de Break for out number 3. So the Miners get one on with 2 outs, but unfortunately he'll be left stranded. And they're still in search of the first run through 7 innings. We move into the home half of the 7th. Bucs leading the Miners 3-0 on Matsu Miners Radio. Bucs on top of the Miners 3-0 as we head into the bottom of the 7th inning. And Josh Haley will still be on the mound for the Miners. He looks to go the longest any Miners starter has ever gone. Multiple guys are tied at 6. Haley has actually had 2 starts go 6 innings, where Haley actually in his last start went 6 innings. He did not have a decision in the last one. Right now, he is the losing pitcher on record if the score stays the same. But the Miners look to change that as they would like to improve their win streak to 5. So Haley will face Willie Escala to start off this inning. Escala, the left-handed hitting designated hitter. He's 0 for 3 tonight. Came into this game with one of the hottest bats for the Bucs. Unfortunately, has been cold tonight as he lifts one foul and slicing out of play for strike 1.
Well, it's fortunate for the Miners.
It really is. And that just goes to show that Haley isn't pitching that bad at all. Only 3 runs on 7 hits. Just some innings he's gotten into jams, and the only way he's worked out of them is to give up a run. The 0-1 to Escala misses in the turf.
And really, there was only one ball truly hit hard, and that was a triple that was hit into the gap by Van de Break.
1-1 from Haley, misses low around the ankles, 2-1.
Besides that, there really hasn't been a whole lot of hard hit contact against Haley.
So Haley's 2-1 count to Escala is fouled. He fouls it right into his left shoe, actually. So that can't feel good. And Escala actually came into this game 5th, tied for 5th batting average in the ABL with .315. So the 2-2 from Haley is blooped into left center field. Moving back and making the catch is Braden Merritt for out number 1.
Well, Scala giving a little ride into left center. Of course, Merritt very quick, gets good reads on the ball off the bat, was able to drift back and make the routine play.
Daniel Fredrickson steps in, the left-handed hitting, right-handed throwing left fielder. 1 down, bottom of the 7th inning. Miners trailing the Bucs 3-0. Haley's first pitch into Fredrickson just misses the outer edge for ball 1, rather. So now Haley has gone the longest out of any of the Miner starters, 6 1/3 as it stands. So he winds and delivers. This time hits the outer edge for strike 1. Miners attempting to win 5 straight as they are ahead of the Oilers by just a half a game in the ABL. sitting at 11-7. Nice off speed. Had Fredrickson on his toes for strike number 2. Miners 11-7. Oilers 11-8. As they're facing this Bucs team that have a positive record at home, 4-3. And Haley gets Fredrickson to swing through yet another one for out number 2. Josh Haley now with 4 strikeouts tonight, rather 5. As he got Fredrickson to swing through. So 2 down, bottom of the 7th inning. Bucs still on top of the Miners, however, 3-0. That brings in first baseman Jake Veith, who did try to bunt in his last at-bat, but then ended up swinging and grounding out to Bozetti, who's standing over toward the right side of second base, all the way over from third as Veith fouls one over to the right side. Now down on the count 0-1. Miners pitching only giving up 4 runs on this 4-game winning streak. Haley has given up 3 tonight, but unfortunately just hasn't had much help from the bats. Only 3 hits for the Miners. And no runs. So there'll be a mound visit between Avitya and Haley. This quick visit, we'd like to thank the official sponsor, the Matsu Miners Internet Broadcast, the Napa Auto Parts of Alaska, and owner Jim Ruda. And stop in any one of your locally owned and operated Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and enter in to a Matsu Miners jersey giveaway. We're back in the action. Haley's second pitch into Veith is slicing into left center field, but moving over nicely is Braden Merritt making the catch for out number 3. So Haley has gone through 7 innings, the longest start for any Miners pitcher this season. Unfortunately, he's given up 3 throughout it, and the Miners look to bring back out the bats, trailing 3-0 heading into the 8th inning. They have a new pitcher on the mound for the Anchorage Bucs as they lead the Miners currently 3-0. Kyle Wollenweber will replace Preston Price, who had the longest start of the season on record for the Bucs. He went 7 innings, gave up 3 hits in a shutout effort currently. Only walked 2 and had 6 strikeouts to add to that. So Wollenweber stands in, the left-handed thrower. He is out of New Mexico State University and hails from Gilbert, Arizona. And Wollenweber has had 5 appearances with a 2.57 ERA through 7 innings pitched, 8 strikeouts, has walked 3, given up 6 hits. He's also gathered up a record of 2-0. He's come on in relief and actually came in yesterday against the Pilots for 2/3 of an inning, faced 2 batters and shut them both down. So the left-handed relief men looking to hold this lead for the Bucs. And he'll face the 7, 8, 9 batters for the Miners. Jump stands in first, lefty on lefty matchup. He's 0 for 2 today. As Jump yesterday going 1 for 4. So Wollenweber will work from the stretch to begin this 8th inning. His first pitch hits that outer edge for strike 1. Wollenweber with sort of a weird delivery, I guess you could say.
Well, kind of truly comes above the head if we see it again.
As he misses low and outside for ball 1.
Someone's throwing it like not a catcher, but pretty close by the arm coming near the ear, and that's at least where the curveball was coming from.
It's very quick and it's not very smooth, almost a little rugged delivery as he has this leg kick and then it kind of pauses and goes into a throw as he delivers a strike lower plate. So Hunter Jump is now down on the count 1-2.
As of right now, Willem Weber's delivery is effective.
It really is. He's pitched very well this season. So he's ahead in the count 1-2. His pitch into Hunter Jump. Big breaker that misses well high. And the count's now tied at 2.
He's not locating his curveball. One bounced in the turf. The other one almost hit him in the head. So curveball is something that's not on for Willem Weber right now.
So the lefty on the hill is now tying the count with Jump 2-2. His pitch gets Jump fooled with the breaker and sets him down on strikes for his first strikeout of the evening. And one down now here in the top of the 8th inning as Drew Swift stands in. Willem Weber, this past season in New Mexico State, only appeared 4 times in 3 1/3 innings, gave up 6 runs, all earned, had 5 walks, and struck out 6 as well. So he has one down here in the top of the 8th inning, and his Bucs lead the Miners 3-0. First pitch into Swift. That misses low. Counts now 1-0. Swift tonight, he's 0 for 2. Looking to change that as the Miners came in tonight batting .259 and averaging up near 5 runs against the Bucs. Completely different story tonight as there hasn't been any scored. As Swift takes one high for strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Top of the 8th inning. Drew Swift out of Arizona State. Hails from Chandler, Arizona. And Willem Weber's 1-1 delivery. Swift thought about it, but it was a called strike 2. So now the count is 1-2 with 1 down. So the Miners also first in the ABL in runs. Now their total is up to 80 and averaging 4.4 runs per game. As Willem Weber's 1-2 pitch to Swift misses well outside for strike 2.
It's a nice stat padding game yesterday. They're able to take the lead in a bunch of stats offensively.
It really was, and you would think some of that momentum might carry over, but not scoring after the 3rd inning in back-to-back games has definitely affected the Miners as now they are caught in a sticky situation being down 3-0. Willem Weber's 2-2 pitch into Swift gets him to swing through. He did get a piece of it as it goes back to the netting. And the count is still at 2-2. So Drew Swift, you mentioned, with .284 on base percentage, has done a nice job getting on base. Looks to do the same right now as the Miners looking to get any magic to happen here late in the ball game. With Willem Weber on the mound, one of the more effective relievers for this Bucs squad. As he'll come set from the waist and then bring that glove up and down back to the waist. Kicks and deals the 2-2 pitch. Big breaker. Ruiz tried to frame it, but it misses high, and Drew Swift has worked the count full. 1 down in the top of the 8th inning.
At this point, Swift just needs to find a way to get on base and get the train rolling. You need some momentum on the side from the Miners.
Willem Weber's full count pitch is on its way, and Swift will swing through, and Willem Weber has set down the first 2 Miner batters on strikes. So Jump and Swift having a tough time trying to figure out Willem Weber as the first place Miners, their lead rather in the ABL is looking a little weary right now, down to 4 outs. And the Oilers leading the Chinooks. The Oilers only half game back. So Willem Weber will come set his first pitch into Braden Merritt. Misses well high. Merritt had to duck, actually. Willem Weber missed high. And Merritt and Willem Weber from similar areas in Arizona. So Merritt looking back to the pitcher, Willem Weber saying, "What the heck, man?" Willem Weber kind of laughs about it and shakes it off. Nevertheless, the count's at 1-0. 2 down, top of the 8th inning. Miners trailing 1-0. Merritt thought about a bunt, but pulled back. It was called strike, and we're tied at 1. Merritt yesterday went 2 for 4 with an RBI. So definitely a nice performance for him as well. He is also up there in on-base percentage with a .314. And as a team, the Miners have a .334 on-base percentage, which counts for second in the ABL. So the 1-1 pitch from Mullen Weber, that nails the outer edge. The count is now 1-2. So Mullen Weber once again ahead in the count against the Miners. He looks to set down the Miners in order. He comes set from the stretch. Kicks and deals. Merritt swinging. Lifts it high into left field. Not really moving over much as Fredrickson. He makes the basket catch for out number 3. And the Miners are set down in order. And we'll move into the the bottom half of the 8th inning with the Bucs on top. 3-0 on Matsu Miners Radio. Welcome back into Mulcahy Stadium, where the Bucs lead the Miners 3-0 currently. And as we move into this home half of the 8th inning, we see a new pitcher for the Miners, Noah Cordova, the right-hander out of Chandler Gilbert Community College, and hails from Gilbert, Arizona. He relieves Josh Haley, who, just like the Bucs, has the longest start for the Miners this season, as he went 7 innings, gave up 7 hits, allowed 3 runs, all earned on 2 walks and 5 strikeouts. So Cordova comes in to relieve him. And really, Haley, it wasn't a bad start. Still leaves the Miners in position to get a win. Unfortunately, the Bats haven't been able to back him up.
Yeah, Haley, again, another start, another quality start. He was able to go deep into the game. He gets his strikeouts with 5, and, 3 runs should not be a tall mountain to climb.
It really shouldn't. As Cordova comes in, this is his 6th appearance. Through 5 of them, he started once, has 10 2/3 innings pitched, 5 strikeouts, and allowed 8 walks, and has an ERA of 1.68. So he faces Correa, who dribbles one foul over to the left side for strike 1. So Correa tonight, he's 2 for 3. He's had 2 singles in the 4th and 5th innings. He scored on the single in the 4th. As Cordova hits the outer edge for strike 2, counts now 0-2. So Cordova looking to provide some solid relief. First game Cordova appeared in, he started. Ever since then, he's been out of the pen. So he kicks and deals his 0-2s in the dirt. Count moves to 1-2.
Really, when he was at Chandler Gilbert, he was a starter there. So this is a new role, and he's adapting quite well.
1-2 is fouled straight back into the fence from Correa. Correa, who went for 0 for yesterday, doing a nice job getting those 2 hits tonight. And the Bucs looking for their 2nd win in 5 games and 2 in a row, as he bounces one straight back to Cordova, who tosses over to first for out number 1. Nice easy out there for Noah Cordova, and a good way to start coming into the ball game. And he'll have to keep this lead at 3 ultimately if the Miners want a chance to come back, because 3 runs is sort of a hard task to come back from, but it's much easier than 4 or 5 or maybe even 6.
Well, you saw yesterday the Miners can score 12 in 1 inning. You think 3 is pretty easy, but that's baseball.
And it's a whole new pitching staff, and they'll most likely see the Bucs closer. And with 1 down, standing in from the right side of the dish is Tanner Treadaway. Treadaway is 1 for 3 tonight. Reached back in the 4th inning and ended up scoring. as he has a warm burner up the middle, but moving over to his left and making the nice play is Drew Swift, just in time to get tread away for out number 2. Swift once again working very smoothly out there at short. And with 2 down, Brennan Bro steps in. The left-handed hitting center fielder. But Bro's had himself the night. He's reached twice, once on a single in the second and then a walk back in the fourth, but then grounded out in his last at-bat. First pitch from Cordova, misses inside for ball 1. So Cordova will come set, chest high, kicks and deals. Once again, just misses outside on the fastball. 2-0. So the Miners team ERA will be raised just a little bit, as it was at 2.57, which was first, and falling right behind with a 3 ERA is the Bucs. So they can hold the Miners scoreless. That'll definitely improve theirs tremendously. As Cordova gets the first strike on Bro by way of a foul. Bro on the season, dramatically nice on-base percentage compared to his batting average. Only a 193 batting average, but a 347 on-base percentage. Definitely improve that tonight. As the 2-1 just misses inside from Noah Cordova. Brennan Bro has worked the count full with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 8th inning. And the Bucs leading the Miners 3-0. So Cordova looking in. Gathers and pitches. He misses just outside, and he'll walk Brennan Bro to keep this 8th inning alive.
And that's how Brennan Bro keeps it on base percentage so high. He works the count deep. He might not get all the hits he needs, but he still gets on base and has been productive for the Bucs.
So he reaches 3 out of 4 times tonight. That'll definitely help it out. And now stepping in is Jace Vandenbrake, the right fielder. He'll hit from the left side of the plate, and Vito will meet with Cordova real quick, make sure they're on the right page. And you definitely need this 3rd out, especially down 3 runs, to give your bats a chance. And the Miners do have their top of the order due up, no matter when the 9th inning comes. So Cordova has a man on first now, as Vandenbrake stands in. His first pitch is a fastball, nice fastball up and in for strike 1. So the series is tied up at 2. The Bucs looking to extend it with the lead, but the Miners would really want to extend it because they are riding a 4-game win streak. It's Cordova in relief of Josh Haley. His second pitch, and Vandenbrake is a strike, so he's ahead in the count 0-2. And after falling behind and walking a batter, it's good to see that Cordova has bounced back with 2 straight fastballs that have been first strikes.
Always shows a tough mentality. One batter might get away, but the second batter's not going to do that.
So Cordova comes set, looking for the set down pitch. It's an off speed that had Vandenbrake completely fooled. He was well out in front of it for out number 3. So Noah Cordova comes in and sets down the Bucs in order. And the Miners will need at least 3 runs in the top of the 9th inning to keep this game going when we come back on Matsu Miners Radio. Miners down to their final 3 outs as we approach the 9th inning, and they'll have to attack on 3 runs as they trail 3-0 against a new man on the mound, the right-handed thrower Adrian Mardueno, who this is now his 3rd appearance against the Miners, his 6th on the season. And against the Miners so far this season, he's pitched a total of 3 innings. He's gathered up a record of 1-0 and has not allowed any runs and has struck out 5, actually only allowed 1 hit as well. So Mardueno has had these Miners numbers so far to begin the season, but some say that third time is the charm. And this is the third time the Miners will see Mardueno. He comes in relief of Kyle Woolenweber, who went an inning pitched and set down the Miners in order. So we're here in the ninth inning. Miners trailing the Bucs 3-0. And due up for the Miners is the top of the order. So the part of the order you want to start with, Quiggle, Bozzetti, and Pinarini. And Quiggle will stand in. He is 1 for 2 today, reached twice. Walked back in the first, grounded out in the third. And in the sixth inning, he got a hit. And he was stranded on second after he moved over on a balk. So Quiggle looking to get things going for the Miners. Quiggle does have the only walk-off hit for the Miners. Fortunately, not in any position to do that, even if it were a tie ball game, as the Miners on the road in the home half. So only a go-ahead would matter. Nevertheless, Mardueno's first pitch, he is a right-handed hurler, is outside to the left-handed hitting Quiggle. Mardueno out of San Diego State University. So the 1-0 from Mardueno misses inside to Quiggle.
At one point this season, somebody's going to have to get to Adrian Mardueno. Miners, of course, hoping it happens here.
In his freshman season, he only allowed 1 of 9 inherited runners to score. So a very high percentage of that. As his 2-0 into Quiggle is slicing foul and out of play. So 2 balls, 1 strike with nobody out here in the top of the ninth inning. The score is 3-0 Bucs on top. And the Bucs are actually third in batting average against with a .213. That would improve if they can hold on, but the Miners have other ideas. Mardueno comes set, his 2-1 pitch. Misses outside. Quiggle has worked a hitter's count 3-1.
I find it interesting they're giving him a lot of room in right center field. Quiggle, of course, can spray it all across, but for a lefty to give that pull area, that's could be dangerous.
And that's where he got a hit back in the sixth inning. So very surprising that they have that shift on. The 3-1 from Mardueno is lined right up the alley. Diving and making the play is Calaccio, but his throw is not in time as the speedy Quiggle will reach with no one out here in the ninth inning. And that's what the Miners have to do. You got to get those runners on. Quiggle starting it off as the leadoff man.
Well, you always want your leadoff man on base, especially in this situation. It's great he gets on with a hit. And you never know what can stem from this.
The Quiggle will raise that batting average ever so close to 300. So he's now 2 for 3 today. And stepping in from the right side is third baseman Tyler Bozzetti. He's 1 for 3 today. 2 strikeouts, however, to his name as he looks at a ball high and inside. Move the count to 1-0. So Bozzetti looking to deliver in the clutch for the Miners. He was the one that reached in that 12-inning marathon and ended up being the first run to score the go-ahead run in the top of that 12th inning. And he lines one up the alley, coming in and trying to make the catch. He will for out number 1. The 1 down for the Miners. They're down to their final 2 outs with Austin Pinarini standing to the dish. They trail 3-0 to the Bucs. Pinarini tonight, he is 0 for 3, but has been known many occasions to deliver late in ball games with clutch RBIs and hits. Was actually the winning run when Quiggle walked it off. As Mardueno misses high, Mardueno, a lot of first pitch balls, not exactly getting ahead of these Miner hitters early.
No, he's keeping them in the counts. He's keeping them alive, and could come back to hurt him at the end.
So his Miner batter just might have to be patient and watch some pitches from Mardueno. He's from the stretch. Once again, misses outside. The count is now 2 balls, no strikes with 1 out here in the top of the ninth inning.
And at this time, take your walks, go deep into the counts. You're not going to run Mardueno off the mound, but you can come pretty close if you load the bases.
Mardueno comes set, few deep breaths. His pitch misses outside for ball 3. With 1 down, Austin Pinarini really in the driver's seat as he's ahead in the count 3-0. He's only drawn 2 walks this season, but would love to add another one and bring the tying run to the plate. So Mardueno kicks and deals. This one's right in the middle of the zone for strike 1. So the count's at 3 balls, 1 strike with 1 out.
As good as Pinarini has been hitting, It's always a smart move. Take your ball or take the strike when the count is 3-1.
The Miners are last in walks drawn, but they look to add to that. But Pinarini will sky it into the middle of the infield, and camped under it is the shortstop Calaccio. So the Miners now down to their final out here in the top of the 9th inning, trailing by 3 to the Bucs. Really a tough out there for Pinarini, as he was in the hitters count 3-1. Always tough to fly out like that. Nevertheless, the last chance for the Miners is Spencer Henson, who coming into this game was second in batting average, .001 behind Bucs first baseman Jake Beath. But that has gone down since, as he's 0 for 3 tonight. Would be a quality time to come through with that first hit. Mardueno comes set, his first pitch to Henson, and misses low, ball 1. So once again, Mardueno misses to begin an at-bat. And Henson will be patient. He's also drawn 2 walks as well. And now stands 7 for 20 against the Bucs. And Quiggle's on the move. No one covers second. Ruiz doesn't even think about the throwdown as he catches strike 1 outside. So now the Miners have a runner in scoring position with 2 outs, with Kona Quiggle standing on second. That's Quiggle's 3rd stolen base of the season. Mardueno will take a quick peek at him and then deliver to the plate. And Henson chops one over to the right side. That one will stay fair and be out number 3. So the Miners' 4-game winning streak is snapped tonight here in Anchorage. And the Bucs have now won 2 in a row to improve their record to 9-11. And the Miners fall with tonight's loss to 11-8. So depending on what the Oilers and Chinooks outcome is, we'll see if the Miners still will tied for the lead, or will the Oilers overtake it. Nevertheless, the Miners drop tonight's game 3-0 in Anchorage. Connor Mills, any final thoughts? Because there will be no post-game show tonight.
No, the lead in the ABL is in jeopardy, as the Oilers have now a 3-1 lead over the Chinooks. It was just a tough day with the bats. Haley gave a very good start, quality start, only giving up the 3 runs. So you can't put any blame on Josh. And the bats, one day they're great, one day they're off. They have to find a happy medium, and then they'll start, stringing together those winning streaks again.
Yeah, and you're exactly right. Just the flippy-floppy bats are once again showed tonight after that 17-run outburst last night. So for Connor Mills, this is Brad Walker. And for the final time tonight, the Bucs on top of the Miners, 3-0 from Mulcahy Stadium here in Anchorage. And as always, it's been a pleasure.